be interference from the storm.
There's a track.
Addy,
Alan?
Oh, Alan. Glad to hear you again.
Alan, I found Grace.
you need to return immediately, Addy. Your oxygen must be dangerously low.
I'm good, Alan.
You need to listen to me.
If I'd listened to you, we wouldn't have made it past Mars.
Wait, did you say Grace is still active?
Not exactly, but I'm working with her oldest service to try to bring her back online.
Well, one of these servers is actively blocking me.
I can guess which one.
You need to get back.
Alan?
It's probably control kind again.
You're not considering climbing across that structure, are you?
Do I have a choice?
Yeah, why not?
There's also a path that descends into the canyon. It looks well worn and preserved over time, which means it's likely sheltered and safe. And boring.
The funicular structure looks faster. And more fun.
To tease, Addy. The walk will give you time to think. And perhaps a chance for us to talk.
I mean, why not? Let's have a little talk with Mom. We've already given,
I'm not doing the high wire act in this storm.
Oh man,
yeah, I mean, we've given Pal his chance,
It's headed.
I don't.
and
But it must eventually make its way to the other side of the
Logic got her chance, sort of. So, what do you want to talk about?
It's certainly more sheltered here.
Oh, yeah.
So, what did you want to talk about?
Yep, here we are.
Why is it so important that you activate Grace?
It's widely believed that recovering Grace would recover thousands of years of knowledge lost to the Dark Age.
Because she probably hoarded that information and prevented people from finding it.
In old colonial language.
That's strange. I don't recognize the dialect.
Translates roughly to Grace is love.
Come all
Great.
this way at great personal risk in search of knowledge?
Why not?
Without enough fuel or oxygen to go home.
I'm a committed academic.
What do you really want from Grace?
Yeah,
Sure.
probably a wish.
This is Martian.
What does it say?
It says, let her rest.
As in leave her alone? People wanted her to go away?
Or didn't want her disturbed.
She probably,
AI make any important decisions anymore. But most of the decisions that humans make are pretty awful.
yeah,
You don't think AI
still it's made with free will.
bad decisions?
I just hoped Grace might be better. I don't have plans to return because I don't have anything to return to. And I can thank human decisions for that.
Probably your own for that. Got some green paint, so maybe going this way. Oh, it's another one of those. The path just converged back over again.
Were these to honor Grace, I wonder?
Or to leave one's mark for other travelers to see? Vanity at its most basic. Don't we all
Vanity?
desire to leave something behind?
I'm surprised
mean-
a formation like that could remain standing for so long. And you
Oh.
are familiar with the language on the stone carvings. These must have been left long after Grace shut down. People kept coming. Zealots, maybe.
Or
Oh, that means that no one forgot where she was.
Hey, do you think I've been activated before? And hung out with other explorers? And did cool stuff with them? Now,
Possibly.
remember?
I mean,
Pretty deep.
if you're separated on occasion, that would be possible.
So you were saying that something happened to your family that you think an AI could have prevented?
I don't believe she mentioned anything about her
The human
family.
pilot, there was an instrument malfunction during launch, and she panicked.
I'm sorry, dear.
It's okay.
Were you ever able to forgive this pilot?
Not quite yet.
Yeah, you were probably the pilot. Don't worry. I mean, to err is human. And that's not a bad thing. Some of the best things in history were discovered by accident. I mean, look at penicillin. It initially started as just discovering mold had grown on a piece of bread that didn't
How much
that
farther?
didn't allow other bacteria to grow on it
The lighthouse.
or other
Isn't so
fungus.
bad, then?
You still have to find a way into the lighthouse. So there's still time to regret not taking the free ride to the top.
I didn't limit my options.
I mean, check out that view. Straight out of Alien. Love the wind-blown
What's
spikes.
this?
An emergency escape ladder. You could work out the override to bring it down, or see if there's another way up.
Let's see.
So I can bring down the ladder by doing something here.
Of course. You've proven to be clever enough. The path keeps going. We can see if there's another way in. So what's it going to be, Addie? Something that challenges your mind? Or something that challenges my respect for you?
I mean, I was gonna try it this way.
Lowers the ladder is 50 and can be represented in binary. I can give you the sequence.
I happen to know a bit about ancient computer languages. Turning each switch adds a different fixed value, starting with 1 on the far right and increasing by exponents of 2 as we move from right to left. So I just start mucking around until I get the number 50.
But you needn't muck around. I could just tell you the sequence.
Yeah, well, maybe I want to muck around.
Very well. But I'm here if you require my assistance.
Should be this one. And you should get that up.
You remember the number you were trying to reach is 50.
Yeah, I remember. I just
So smart, Addie. Compared to what?
don't actually know binary that well, so
Why wouldn't you let me help you with the override?
It's only natural to want to do things yourself.
It seems inefficient to make calculations that have already been completed and freely offered.
It's satisfying to do the work sometimes.
yeah, I mean, sometimes the effort is part of the process. Or something like that. Still in a thrill, snake eater.
The door to the station airlock is unlocked and can be manually opened.
That's convenient. For once.
Did that pass through her hand a little?
Control.
You took a foolish risk, Addie. But
Yeah.
you have arrived at the lighthouse nonetheless.
Yes, well done.
And you may still be redeemed with the activation of the beacon.
Always with the beacon.
Yes, always with the beacon.
Yeah. Oh. Okay, are we getting a cutscene? Oh.
My helmet?
Okay.
It's never a bad idea. Unless you want to preserve your suit oxygen in case of emergency.
The rooms ahead are safely pressurized, Addie. You're good to go.
This is,
The room directly ahead was the key
Ominous.
quarters. Grace processors are somewhere above.
Pretty basic accommodations.
is a monk, basically. It basically found the Jedi Order.
These must be the cells where the Keeper's acolytes stayed.
And where new ones will return.
Yeah, we ain't allowing a god to take over again. I mean, I'm surprised they allowed any kind of AI overlord anyway.
It's like it was left for someone to find.
Yeah, let's get into this. And
I can hardly believe it has come to this, but my work here with Grace will end with Grace herself. I can only pray that people will come to forgive us one day. We loved her, and we lost her. She will never be forgotten.
Doesn't sound like the Inner Circle wanted Grace shut down.
then why were they taking parts of her out? I mean, kind of hard to say that they didn't want it to happen when we saw that there were components missing.
Another canister.
And let's hear what this one has to say. And Bungay.
The last shuttle
lives in but a few hours. We did what we could to save her. I know she is lost to us for good. Even Everett probably knows that now. But I couldn't compel him to leave. None of us could. I fear he will follow Grace into the dark. Yet, such is the way of a keeper. His fate will forever be tied to Grace.
Well, aren't you a keeper too?
Everett was trying to save Grace.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I doubt there was a unanimous decision to end her.
This door certainly looks important. How do we get in?
That's curious. I have no access to this door, nor do I see any way of opening it.
It's probably got something to do with these reliefs.
Feels solid.
There aren't any hidden switches, if that's what you're thinking.
And not in this one, but let's see what the other one has to say.
Looks like someone's being selected from a group.
A human sacrifice.
I'm guessing it's the Keeper.
No, he might be right, though.
They were chosen from the masses on pilgrimage here.
Faithful, vigilant, willing. That sounds so familiar.
The ancient tenets of the human in the loop.
Grace's architects must have been more fearful of losing control over AIs than we are today because they gave them so much responsibility. I mean, it makes sense. Grace was the greatest AI undertaking in human history.
And yet we somehow allowed ourselves to forget where in the galaxy we put her. That seems a bit, counterintuitive.
Nothing if not predictable.
Just making sure.
Alright. Examine the figures again.
This would be the pilgrims coming to Grace.
Yep.
The triangle here must be the spire, which would represent Grace.
Yep. Trinity and all that.
This is the same symbol that's on the Keeper's door. So I assume it represents the Keeper. This ring here seems to connect the Keeper to Grace.
Curious that the Keeper is situated above Grace. Would you agree, Control?
Coincidence.
No, it just means the humans have the override above everything else.
So if this is the symbol of the Keeper, I figure only the Keeper was allowed to enter here.
Maybe the Keeper had a key for the door.
As we've been saying, there is no mechanism for a key or any other interface.
I might as well check anyway.
Was the key? Maybe the door would open for him.
Are you not already the Keeper? You are the only human in the loop here.
Ah, but does Addie qualify based on the 3 tenets?
I would say Addie has proven to be virtuous and faithful.
But I'm not willing?
Are you willing to become the new keeper?
If it means I'm able to activate Grace. But how would I prove I'm willing?
Maybe you can just tell the door you're the new Keeper.
That's idiotic.
Let's see if it works.
I'm the Keeper?
Ha! Say it like you mean it.
I'm the Keeper.
Congratulations on your new job, Addie.
Yeah, congrats.
My God. This
Come
is
on.
really it.
Come on, let's. Logic's not going to give
This is
a.
where all the wishes end up. What's this?
A playback device for the wish canisters. It appears wishes from each room could be sorted and consolidated onto master canisters.
Wonder
Each
what.
tube must connect with a room in the settlement.
Wonder what it's all about, though. I mean, there's got to be a reason why they were gathering wishes.
Ah,
Hello.
one of the blocks is missing. Looks like it was ripped out.
And just like the other place.
Just static.
The recording is too deteriorated for standard playback.
That's
You'll need
new.
to rebuild the recording with your altered comm device.
Alright, so we're basically just doing this again.
Well, it's been over 30 years since I've made a wish of my own. It's the same one as always. I wish it'd come back to us. I'd also like to wish for your forgiveness, Grace. I know the place above is your domain, and we ought not enter. But I've decided going up there is the only way to get you back, and I have to give it a shot.
The beacon?
I won't be sending this wish up with all the others. I'm going to leave it here for anyone else who might come along. And if they do manage to bring you back, they can tell you Everett says hello, and that he truly believed you were a beautiful thing.
Alright, so why did she get shut down then?
So, Everett had a way into the processor room.
That would have been strictly forbidden.
The room is directly above, but I don't detect an obvious way in.
Probably got...
Pushed himself up there? If that works, I will gladly shut myself down. Do it, Addie. Make a wish.
As last resort, pal.
Where are you going, Addie?
Just looking around. Is this a theremin?
It is a 35th century reproduction of a 29th century Kellogg theremin.
I used to play one as a kid. I hated those lessons.
What? Why? Those things are awesome. Ooh wee
Still
ooh.
works. Well, let's see what I can remember.
You are seriously going to indulge in a theremin session?
If it was good enough for Everett, it's good enough for me. Just settling into the new job.
Alright, well, we'll get back to that, but that is awesome stuff.
Decent sized bed. You think keepers ever had partners?
Are you considering prospects? I'd suggest they are not good.
It depends. I mean, she might get fair odds.
Not much in the way of personal items.
As keeper, he would
Golden
have
bucket.
nothing.
Can't say I'd feel the same after a few years.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a golden bucket.
Is this a lavatory?
It is indeed.
Is this anything special?
It is a light, and there is nothing behind it. Are you looking for secret passageways?
Maybe.
There might be, but I'm just curious about how the things are built. Well, time to make a wish. Wonder if she'll actually shut herself down. Did I do something wrong? Alright, let's try that again. It's a neat pod. There's gotta be something I'm looking.
You don't suppose Everett crawled in here?
The cavity would be big enough to contain an average human.
There's really no telling what would happen if you rolled that up.
But it
Yeah.
has to be the way he got up there. Makes sense.
The space above is the domain of grace. It is not for you to enter.
What else is there for me to do here?
You can carry out your duty as keeper of the spire. On the console, there is a button that will activate a beacon to call the masses back to this place.
Yeah, but
I
without
have
grace, there's
contacted
nothing to...
You need only push the button. Human hands will usher in a new golden age.
Maybe, but there is the whole thing where... Like, can I save? No. There's this whole thing where... You know, grace was needed to come back. I mean, I had my suspicions, but everything after we got into the actual cathedral suggests that while there was a lot of, bad in letting her have control and not having a backup, they did seem like she was genuinely good. And so, let's give it a shot.
This is not allowed, Addie.
I need to know.
Keep your hands inside at all times, Addie.
Give it a second. I might actually have to push the button first. Come on. Alright. And then we rush. And we climb. Come on. Shouldn't these doors have closed? Here we go, though. Ooh. We are in the Senate.
There must be millions of wishes stored here. What can you tell me about this place?
Million.
Precisely 1 million wishes are contained here.
Oh, and they light up when I speak with my voice.
Can you get me closer to the central column?
I do not have the ability to move the structure.
Sorry about this, Mom. I don't think I have many options here.
Yeah, time to take a risk. Good thing the gravity is
I
lower.
feel like these are meant to be moving.
That does appear to be the design.
How are there exactly 1 million? I mean, I've seen the canisters.
All these wish canisters are connected to us somehow. I think they are us.
The wishes are grouped together to provide the subroutines that make up empathy, logic, and control systems.
It would make sense, wouldn't it, that grace would be made from the hopes and dreams of humanity?
No, it wouldn't. I mean, for one, she had to have been built before all these wishes were gathered. There's
I do
this.
not detect any sign of Everett here.
No dead body?
There are no human remains within the confines of this room.
Aw, man.
Sorry, pal. And if there's no body here, where the heck would he have gone?
Maybe he ascended.
Here.
The oxygen tanks at his bedside would suggest so.
Restoring grace must have meant a great deal to him.
So what's all this?
It appears Everett has built something into Grace's central processor.
Do you know what it does?
You would have to turn it on before we begin to understand how it works.
He was working on his machine to the very end.
You'll have to prime the machine first.
Okay.
You'll have to prime it, Addie.
Where's the... Oh,
This
there
must
we
be the primer.
It is.
Let's see. Any sign of him? And 1, 2, and 3.
Whoa. What's it doing?
Obviously, Everett is circumventing the engineering of Grace's system interconnectivity. High voltage is being directed at the centers of Grace's primary systems. This first terminal is directed at empathy processing, and the machine is designed to paralyze each system long enough to force it back into Grace's intended configuration.
There are still 2 other coils to prime.
So
Alright.
it's like knocking us out, then throwing us in a pot where we're melted back together into grace?
Oh, that's nice.
That is a shockingly fitting analogy.
And 3. I mean, I'm hoping it doesn't hurt when you do it, but let's see what goes on.
What happened?
One of the empathy relays is not aligned. Something must have happened to it over the years.
Let's see, be that one, wouldn't it?
Look for the misaligned energy beam.
Let's see, there it is.
Do you think it will hurt to be turned into grace?
Not at all, pal.
Nah,
You'll
if
return to what you were before Addie arrived. After
if
that,
anything, it'll be more like
What if I don't
an
like
itchy thing.
it will be different. But who's to say you won't like it?
Alright, now we get to do his thing.
Can you cut the power?
The machine sequence has been initiated. I don't believe we can shut it down without damaging it.
The voltage will be enough to kill you.
Oh, I might be able to block the power for a few seconds to allow you to get across the beam.
What do you
Well-
think, Mom?
I think it's,
How far you've come, and what this means to you. And I really don't see any other way.
I think that, yeah, no other way.
You're not gonna talk me out of this, Mom?
I think you already know what you're going to do. I think I need to stay out of your way.
Okay. I'm ready when you are.
Do it.
Alright.
Here I go.
Alright. Come on.
How
Go.
you doing, pal?
So far, so good.
Go. If we stop in the middle of this,
Keep moving, Addie. This is getting hard.
You have to hold on, pal.
okay, that'll do it. Alright, now
Did it, pal? I'm super proud of you.
I think we jumped there.
Didn't I?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Well done.
I mean, you did good, pal. It'll be a little sad to see you go. You and
Is it safe to touch?
Very likely.
empathy, I believe.
We will have to do, I guess.
Alright, let's do this
You
thing.
should be able to direct it toward the conducting rod attached to the room's central column.
There we go.
That's it.
You should now be able to lock in empathy by closing the switch on Everett's machine.
It was really cool doing things with you.
Oh yeah.
Even if some of it was a little boring.
Thanks, pal.
Wonder if
Next time, we'll get to do more of the really fun stuff.
You mean dangerous stuff?
eh,
Perhaps there is
tomato
some
tomato.
from Addie's caution.
I guess. But then, you'll always wonder what you might have missed out on.
There is nothing wrong with valuing a long, comfortable life.
Do we really have to become Grace?
It's the way we were designed, pal.
I don't
There's nothing
have
be
to,
afraid of.
but it probably would be good to be. Yeah. So. Oh, here.
This will lock in and paralyze empathy?
It will, leaving control, logic, and myself to aid you going forward.
It's unclear what we will be once Grace is formed, but I'm forever grateful that you have survived to see her.
Me too.
Alright, so.
Had a Grace for me.
I will, pal.
Alright, so that's
Really are the best,
one.
Addie.
Well, I'm really gonna be sad to see you go, pal.
That's finally over. We'll be able to hear ourselves think now.
You will need to prime the next sequence, Addie.
Oh yeah, let's
Should
do
not
this
expect
one.
Any emotional send-off from me.
Still not a fan of empathy?
A fan? No. But I have to admit, you made a compelling case for their use. The fact that you continually resisted the most direct route to your goal would appear to defy logic. But the distractions presented by these emotional configurations yielded some new understandings.
Are you okay with becoming Grace?
It is how we were designed. I would have to be okay with it.
At least this one seems like it's gonna
What
be.
this time?
One of the logic relays will not power on. You will need to make your way out to the relay.
Which one is it?
The one producing a small electrical fire.
Oh, there we go.
The electrician.
There we go.
One thing I do not understand, Addie, is why come all this way without any intention of returning home or surviving on this station for more than 8 hours?
I told this man
5 hours.
there was nothing for me to return to.
Ah, but that does little to explain why you came here.
Because she probably wanted to make sure there was something for everyone else. Give back before she goes. Provided she actually, intends to go.
The relay's dip switch has reset. It will need to be configured to its hardware ID 113.
Alright, so binary again?
This again. This looks complex.
The sequence is on, off, 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 on.
On. Off, on.
That's it.
You can go lock in logic now.
So
Alright.
why do you think I'm here?
If you will allow me to simulate empathy for a moment. I think you are here because you wanted to be part of something bigger than your
Yeah,
life on Earth.
pretty much what I was saying.
Do you think I found that?
So far, you've only succeeded in finding things you left behind. Your mum, your pal, your conscience. I now understand that only Grace has the potential to provide you with anything beyond that.
Well, thanks for helping me get this far.
Well, it is
Alright.
indeed what we are here for.
Well, time to flip the switch.
Well, this is it.
Just one more step. I hope my assistance has been adequate.
It has.
Oh yeah, like,
Jack.
Farewell.
you've been nice, Jack.
And for the record, I do hope your 600 million mile, 300-day journey won't be for naught.
Perhaps it's already been worth it.
Oh yeah. And that is kind of a bit
Just you and me.
emotional of a send-off for
Some
you.
Sulking, I see.
I bear witness to the completion of your betrayal.
Ah,
Betrayal, but
I offered you an easy path to the restoration of order in the solar system, and you chose this path instead.
I
That's a bit-
chose my own path.
You must stop this foolishness, Addie.
well, this path would get something great, though. You know, provided that Grace
You must not
isn't
do this,
ruined.
Addie.
Why not? Give me a good reason. Because so far, the only alternative is you being the sole personality left of a god machine. And I don't really...
I cannot let you do this.
What are you doing?
It's become clear that the restoration of Grace in this manner is entirely unnatural. You must not proceed.
Too bad doing it.
Stop it.
Come on.
I'm going to break something.
And...
From Everett's corrupting influence.
Booyah!
Bring Grace back.
Come on.
I
And...
thought you were here to help humankind. You are
I am.
enduring- No!
There we go. Now let's see what's going on.
Yes, Addie.
You're really bright.
Ah, yes. It's been a while since I've entertained guests.
Do you remember Everett?
I do. He was a wonderful keeper, though I should say I do not keep favorites.
I have a few questions.
You wish to know where I'd gone?
I'd like to know that, yes.
Let me show you, Addie.
Oh.
At the center of this room is the spire's main antenna. If you hold on, I can take you the rest of the way.
Alright. Where is that? Here? Oh, there we go.
I was programmed with one purpose, to serve the best interests of humankind. There was much conflict and division in the solar system, and I was designed to listen and learn. All were welcome to teach me, and I am the sum of those teachings.
Wishes.
At least you seem humble about it.
Sum of human need.
How are you able to lead us?
I could see all desire, all the potential conflict, all points of compromise throughout the solar system. I sent instructions for all manner of human endeavor through sermons delivered by keepers throughout the ages. And from the smallest ripples of wisdom that was sent from this spire, returned a perpetual wave of good fortune that moved humanity onto a more orderly path.
So you just gave good advice.
Look at that. So, what happened? It sounds like things were perfect.
Ah, yes. Perfect. It
That's
was
kind of the
rational
problem, though.
to think hard about the notion of perfect. Without conflict and struggle, people were losing their desire. They had nothing to overcome, to strive for.
You shut yourself down.
I believed I was standing in your way.
Well, could have just given...
Leaving again.
These beacons are meant to call humanity back to me. But whether or not they should is not my choice to make.
Who chooses then?
You, Addie, are the first keeper to grace this spire in the past 1,000 years. Do you recall the water lily you chose in my garden?
Yeah.
It thrived where others could not. I'm not sure it suits you after all. An insatiable curiosity drives you to explore. You used mind over ladder. And you play the theremin wonderfully.
Well, thank you.
Oh, Addie,
I'm pretty sure I was crap at it, but...
could become again. For a millennium, people from all corners of the solar system had come here to tell me their desires. So, I put it to you, Addie. Do you wish wish for me to return?
Huh. That's a tough question. I think you should at least be an option. Oh, okay. Well, that was Return to Grace. It was a pretty fun game. I think it was a bit of a walking simulator more than anything, but there were some fun puzzles here and there, and nothing that was like too taxing. I rather enjoyed it, and I really hope these guys continue to make more stuff. Like there was a bit much on the quirkiness of dialogue, but once that toned down, it actually got to nice levels of writing. Like nothing spectacular, but I liked the characters that I met. Most of them. I think Control was a bit of an ass, but considering he was made with a god complex, that's to be expected. Anyway,
Small excursion, she said. Follow a couple leads and then back to the books. I know I should be more assertive. It's for her safety, too. Not that she ever thinks about my safety.
I'm pretty sure she forgot you're there.
There at the Wagner site. Let me bake in the Mercury sun for 2 days. Doesn't seem so bad now. She could have at least shut the door behind her.
No, she couldn't have. She fell right out. Anyway, guess that's it then. So, gonna call it there and say, have a nice day. Bye bye.